Alright, hello everyone, it's G-Star321 here again, and today, as you can see, I'm finally playing Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Yep, it's certainly about time, isn't it? Now, I just want to mention one thing before I start talking about this game. I am absolutely disgusted with myself. Disgusted. Why, you ask? Well, I'm ashamed with myself for not playing this game back in the day when it came out. I don't know why I didn't. I had a PlayStation, I had Resident Evil 2, I played Resident Evil 1, I believe that was just a rental though. But back then, I didn't even hear about this game. I didn't even know of its existence, and it's baffling to me because I don't know why. I just can't for the life of me think of why I didn't even hear about this game back then. But I have been playing this game almost non-stop for the past week. I've done 11 playthroughs back to back. Non-stop, guys. Non-stop. My eyes are fried. But it's worth it because I fucking love this game. This is, oh man, it's so good. I think it's become my favorite Resident Evil game. There, I've said it. Resident Evil 3 is now my favorite Resident Evil game that I've played. It is fucking outstanding. It's flawless. It's perfect. I cannot fault it at all. I can't even nitpick it. Everything about this game, from gameplay, story, atmosphere to music, is phenomenal. The music in this game is absolutely outstanding. It comes close to rivaling Akira Yamaoka composing the music for the Silent Hill games. That's how fucking good it is, and dare I say it, even better at times. So many good soundtracks in this game. Now, a bit of backstory on the game. It came out back in 1999 for the PlayStation, and it was subsequently ported to the PC, Dreamcast, and GameCube. I'm actually playing the PC version here today. I have it for my PlayStation 3. I've downloaded it from the PSN store, but when I played it, the thing is, I've got a really big TV, it's a 60-inch plasma, and it just looks like shit on that big TV, on that big screen. It's pixelated, it's a fucking disgrace. I couldn't take it, you know. I couldn't handle it. So I tried playing emulators on my PC, you know, PlayStation emulators, but I just couldn't get it working for the life of me. I was having trouble with graphical problems on it. So basically, long story short, I sought after the PC version, and I'm really happy with it because graphics are really good here. And the PC version has a few advantages that the PlayStation version doesn't. For one, all the alternate costumes here are available from the get-go, whereas on the PlayStation version, you have to unlock them by finishing the game. And same with Mercenaries mode. It's available from the start on the PC version, whereas once again on the PlayStation version you have to unlock it by completing the game once, I believe. And the PC version also has an extra 2 costumes, so 7 alternate costumes in total, whereas the PlayStation version only has 5 alternate costumes. But look, it's pretty much the same game. I just sought after the PC version because I was having problems with the PlayStation version looking like shit on my big screen TV. But here we are, playing the PC version. It's great. Oh man, the first time I actually, you know, I don't know why I put off playing this game for so long, and it wasn't until I've been getting so many requests from you guys on my channel and on videos saying, play Resident Evil 3, do it, play it, tons and tons of requests. And I always had the intention of doing it, you know, I wasn't not going to do it. Of course I was going to play it, but I don't know why I held off. I guess I just wasn't really expecting much from this game, to be honest, but when I did my first playthrough about a week ago and the final credits rolled, I just sat there stunned in absolute silence at how fucking amazing this game is, and just disgusted with myself, like I said before, for not playing it earlier, or at least back in the day when it came out. So this game it's an experience to play this game. You know, look guys, I know I always say this, but if you guys are fans of horror games and you haven't played this game, let alone the trilogy classic Resident Evil games, I'm talking Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, if you haven't played at least one of those games, you've got to. Alright, I know I always say this, but it's simply a must. If you guys have a bucket list, that shit should be #1 on your bucket list. Fuck overseas travel. Fuck jumping out of a plane skydiving. Fuck getting in a cage and diving in with sharks. Forget it. Okay? Forget it. #1. Look, I'm just joking, of course, but I'm just expressing how much I really like this game. Alright? That's basically all I'm doing. So, I've thought about how I was going to do the walkthrough videos for this game, and I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep the tradition flowing. I'm going to do it exactly the same as how I did my Resident Evil 1 and 2 walkthrough. And for those walkthroughs, I did them post-commentary. You know, I played the game, recorded it in one sitting, and then did the commentary as I watched that recording. And that's what I'll be doing here, because basically, I've gotten an A rank here in Resident Evil 3, the highest rank you can get, unless you're playing the Japanese version, then it's an S rank, that's the highest rank. But for this version of the game, it's an A rank, so I have gotten that rank. I've gotten it while playing on hard, and I've gotten it while killing Nemesis in every single encounter with him. I haven't backed away for one fight in this playthrough, guys. Trust me. Walkthrough, I should say. And that's the really cool thing. I think that's why Resident Evil 3 has become my favorite, because that's what really sets it apart from all the other Resident Evil games, and more specifically the previous two. I'm talking the classic Resident Evil games. Because basically, if you guys don't know, if you haven't played it, throughout the whole game, this creature you're seeing here on the screen, Nemesis, he basically stalks you throughout the whole game, and you're just playing the game in a state of constant terror and anxiety, not knowing when he's going to show up, not knowing if you'll have enough ammo to deal with him or healing items and so on. I mean, you don't have to fight him. That's the really cool thing about this game. It also introduces choices. There's so many things that this game introduced compared to the previous two games that I simply don't have enough time to explain in this intro. So as we go through the game, I will talk about everything, guys. Trust me, I'm going to talk about everything. I'm going to talk about the strategies I used to defeat Nemesis, even though they may not be the best. You know, like I said, I've only played the game for the past week. I've done 11 playthroughs back to back, and that's nothing compared to, say, someone that's been playing this game since 1999. And they've done like 50, 100 playthroughs, you know. But I think I'm quite good at the game. I don't want to brag or anything, but, you know, I'm quite happy that I've got the highest rank in the game, the A rank. And if you're playing the PlayStation version, then if you get an A rank, you will unlock every single alternate costume. So use this guide for that. So I don't think there's anything else I want to say before I jump straight in the game. I know I always talk a lot for the intro, guys, but I just feel I have a lot to say. Yeah, just looking at the menu screen here, you can see that it's got Epilogue written there. Basically, when you finish the game on hard mode, you will unlock one epilogue. There are 8 epilogues in total to unlock. So if you want to unlock all of them, then you have to finish the game 8 times on hard. And basically all they are just a brief sort of story into each character of the Resident Evil franchise, or a select few of them. You know, for example, Leon Kennedy, Claire Redfield, Sherry Birkin, Hunk, and so on. So, I think that's all I want to say, guys, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on the PC, getting an A rank on hard mode, killing Nemesis in every encounter. Let's fucking do this. Hard mode, of course, and here you are. There are 7 alternate costumes you can choose from. I'll be using the normal one.
Resident Evil.
Fuck yeah.
It all began as an ordinary day in September.
An ordinary day in Raccoon City. A city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction. I suppose they had to suffer the consequences of their actions, but there would be no forgiveness. If only they had had the courage to fight. It's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance. My last escape.
This is Chopper Delta, preparing to drop off at area E95070. Over.
What are they?
Farewell to my life, farewell to my home. This is my last chance for survival. This is my last escape. So here we are. This is Resident Evil 3. This is how the game starts. And there, I love that intro, how Jill just breaks through that door. And there's a zombie straight off the bat here. Now, what I've just done there is one of the new features in Resident Evil 3, but I'll talk about that a bit later. I've got a cutscene here.
September 28th, daylight. The monsters have overtaken the city. Somehow, I'm still alive. Okay, we've got to get out of here.
What? What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there! How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't gonna be any rescue. We have to get out of here!
No! I'm not going anywhere! I'd rather starve to death in here than be eaten by one of those undead monsters! Now leave me alone!
That guy that we just met there is an absolute douchebag. His name is Dario, and we will meet him a bit later on in the game. But for the time being, he's just locked himself in that container there, and he will remain there. So just forget about him for now. So as you can see, we're playing as Jill Valentine here for Resident Evil 3. She's the main protagonist. We do play as another character in the game called Carlos, but there's no specific A or B scenario, for example, like there was in Resident Evil 2. And like in Resident Evil 1, you could play as either Chris or Jill throughout the main game. Here, it's not like that. Basically, the main focus is on Jill only, but there is a small portion of the game where we do play as Carlos. And just in that room there, I don't know if you noticed, I collected some gunpowder. Now this is one of the new features in Resident Evil 3, as well as what I just mentioned before about how I sort of pushed that zombie away. First I'll talk about pushing zombies away before I get into the gunpowder. So with Resident Evil 3 here, what you can do is, if a zombie, and that was actually Brad there that just busted out of that door, if a zombie gets close to you, just the moment before he attacks you, it's sort of like a parry, if you will, in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. The moment a zombie is about to attack you, like when that zombie is that close to you that in the next frame he will grab you, press the R1 button to push that zombie away. It's called a dodge or evade move according to the game. Now when I talk about the controls, I'm just going to be talking about how they are for the PlayStation 1. So, you know, X button, square button, circle button, and so on, because I believe that's how most people know these classic trilogy of Resident Evil games from the PlayStation. And I'm actually using a PS3 controller to play this on my PC, which is awesome. So I'm really feeling nostalgic here. So yeah, that's how you do the evade move, okay? Press the R1 button the moment a zombie is about to grab you. It is very difficult to pull off consistently. The timing is very strict, so you won't be seeing me do it here all that often. Most of the time when I do it, it's by accident. I don't even intentionally mean to do it. And there's actually another way of performing the evade move, and it's when you've got your weapon drawn by holding the R1 button. And so say you're pointing your shotgun or handgun, whatever, at a zombie by holding the R1 button. When that zombie gets that close to you, he's about to attack, press the shoot button, the X button, and you will dodge, you will evade, you will push the zombie out of the way. So there are two ways of performing that evade move. Pressing the R1 button the moment a zombie gets close, or whilst aiming, pressing the action button, the X button. Alright, now if you're going to do it the second way, and by second way I mean holding the R1 button and then pressing the action button, you have to make sure you have at least one bullet in the chamber, otherwise it won't work. And here's Brad.
Get away!
So you can help him out by killing this zombie quickly, or he'll kill it naturally himself.
Brad, hang in there. Why isn't someone doing something about this?
I didn't know you were still alive, Jill. The police aren't trained for this kind of situation. What could they do? Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see. He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
And I actually find the voice acting in this specific Resident Evil game to be quite decent. I remember in Resident Evil 1 and 2 it was somewhat laughable, but here it's actually pretty good. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going through game instructions A and B. Why? Well look guys, I'm gonna also show you how to unlock Jill's diary at the end of this game. It's an Easter egg. You don't have to do this, but I'm gonna make this walkthrough as comprehensive as possible. So to unlock Jill's diary at the end of the game, what you need to do is read through and find every single file in the game in the correct order. So I just went through and read game instructions A and B. I don't know if you have to read those two specific files in order for the game to register unlocking Jill's diary, but just do it anyway to be on the safe side. And when I say read files, I don't mean you have to sit there and actually read them all. Just make sure you press the right button until you get to that exit option, and then press X to exit out. If you find a file and you just press the circle button immediately to cancel out without getting to that exit option, then I believe the game counts that as the file not being read, and it will not allow you to unlock Jill's diary at the end of the game. So just to be on the safe side, even with game instructions A and B, open them up, press the right button until you get to that exit option. So basically what I'm doing here for this file, photo A, and then press X on exit, and that will count it as being read. So the first file to pick up and read was in the bar jacks, I believe, and then that photo there was the second one. After, of course, game instructions A and B. Now here, coming up is our first fight, our first encounter with Nemesis, and this is probably one of the hardest fights in the game against Nemesis, because all we have at the moment is our crappy handgun and the basic shotgun, whereas later on we'll have much more weaponry. And as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm creating ammo. So this is another new feature in Resident Evil 3, the ability to create ammo. You will find Gunpowder A, Gunpowder B, and Gunpowder C throughout the game. And you also start off with a reloading tool in your inventory. But look, I'll get into that after this. We've got a cutscene here.
Jill!
Brad!
We've got to... Jill! Help!
No!
So Brad just got completely fucked up there by Nemesis. He is dead. And here we go. This is another new feature of Resident Evil 3. The ability to make a decision. They're called live selections. So for this specific selection, you could choose to either fight Nemesis or run into the police station. Like I said at the beginning of this video, will be taking on Nemesis for every encounter. I will not be backing away. Now this fight, pretty much all fights against Nemesis involve the same thing. He walks slowly towards you, and when he gets close, watch, see how he just tries to grab me? He will always try to grab you, and he always tries to grab you with his left arm, alright? The arm where he's actually got the sleeve covering it up, not the other one. See how on his right arm he doesn't have that sleeve on his shoulder? So that is the trick for these fights against Nemesis. You run past him on his right side, or the easiest way I like to think of it is run past his arm where he doesn't have that sleeve. Okay? And that's basically all you do. Once you've run past him, okay, what you just saw there is he ran towards me. If you get too far away from Nemesis, instead of him slowly walking towards you, he will run towards you and he will punch you. See what he just did there? And I dodged it. So for the Nemesis fights, dodging is absolutely critical. This is really the only time I focus on using the dodge or evade move. I don't really give a shit about dodging regular zombies, because not only is it incredibly difficult to do, the timing is very strict, but it's just not necessary most of the time, because you can just take them out very easily with the handgun or a shotgun or whatever. But for here against Nemesis, dodging is very important. I mean, if you can, yeah, see, I just ran too far away from him and he ran towards me and punched me. I couldn't dodge it in time. Okay, so I just killed him there. On hard mode, each time you kill Nemesis, he will drop an item. He will drop an item 7 times. After that, he doesn't drop anything. So it's really in your favor to take the time and defeat Nemesis for each encounter, because he does drop some really nice goodies. What I just picked up there, what he dropped was Eagle Parts A, and once I kill him a second time, he will drop Eagle Parts B. And I combine eagle parts A with B, and then that will give me an eagle handgun, which is absolutely fantastic, and it's what I'll be using for pretty much the rest of the game. The eagle handgun has an incredibly fast firing rate and reload speed. It is just my favorite handgun in the game. Now on that note, look at all these fucking zombies. Make sure you kill these zombies here, because for our second encounter with Nemesis, it's actually here in the police station, and I'm going to be luring Nemesis to this specific room to take care of him. So make sure you kill the zombies, because if you don't and you come back in here with Nemesis, Nemesis will be here along with those zombies, you know what I mean? So it's just bullshit. Make sure you kill the zombies. And I just picked up another file there and read that. That was the third file to collect. And also, while I was outside the police station, I picked up Brad Starr's ID card off his dead body, and that allowed me to use it on the computer in the lobby of the police station, giving me the code for that locker there. Alright? And what I collected was the key to the Starr's office. Now if you don't fight Nemesis and thus make the live selection to run straight into the police station, you won't have Brad's ID card, and you won't know the code to open that locker to get the key to the Starr's office. So what you need to do is go into, I believe it's the conference room, and you will find Jill's Starr's ID card there. But you won't see me do it here because there's no point. I already had Brad's Starr's ID card. So now I just want to spend a few moments explaining gunpowder and ammo creation and how that all works. So like I said before, you find gunpowder A, B and C throughout the game, and you start off with a reloading tool in your inventory. If you combine gunpowder A with the reloading tool, you will create handgun ammo. If you combine gunpowder B with the reloading tool, you will create shotgun ammo. And if you combine gunpowder C with the reloading tool, you will create grenade launcher rounds. Now, the subject of ammo creation can be somewhat difficult to grasp initially because it is a little bit complex in how it works. You can combine gunpowder A and gunpowder B together, for example, and if you do that, you will create gunpowder C. If you combine gunpowder A with gunpowder A, you will create gunpowder AA, and if you combine gunpowder AA with gunpowder A, you will create gunpowder AAA. So basically, by combining gunpowder together of the same type up to a max of 3 times, so let's say you create gunpowder AAA, when you combine that with the reloading tool, you will in essence just get more handgun bullets than you would if you went ahead and combined gunpowder A with the reloading tool separately 3 times.
No! Come anyone! Our platoon is cut off! No survivors found! This is Carlos! Send in support immediately!
So that was Carlos we just heard there, and now we're going to head back down the stairs, and once we do, the second fight with Nemesis will take place, and you'll know he's around when you hear this music. Alright, you can hear it now. Very fucking creepy music, I love it. Stars! He just breaks through the window there, awesome. And he's got a rocket launcher this time, so what I like to do here is just stand far away from him, because once you do, that will trigger him to use the rocket launcher, and you can easily dodge out of the way. And there you go, you heard that sound. That means he's out of ammo for the rocket launcher, and it's going to be the typical toe-to-toe fight with him from then on out. And this is actually the first place we can use the lockpick. There are only 4 instances in the whole game where we use the lockpick. pick, and that was the first one right there. So yeah, this is the room where I'm going to be fighting Nemesis, and I didn't kill the zombies previously when I came into this room, so I'm going to have to take care of them now, because I don't want to fight Nemesis with these guys around. That would be absolute ass. But I'll leave it here, guys, and I will see you in the next video where we commence the second fight with Nemesis.